Yeah, thanks.
Boom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. Enter your participant. You are in the meeting now. There is one other participant in the meeting.
Everyone else
He
got out.
hasn't got hurt. Okay, it looks like we're at the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I know there's a lot of training, a lot of stuff going on, so I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us and walk through this presentation with us. The goal for today is to provide you with an introduction to our Qualitrac system, along with direction on how to get signed up for a Qualitrac provider portal or authorized account. Pam Balbano is also on the call with us. Feel free at any time to submit questions through that chat window. Pam will try to answer those as we go along, and any that we don't get to, we'll go ahead and take those at the end. The presentation today is not very long. It should take less than a half hour, so we will have plenty of times for Q&A at the end. So you can either send those questions through the chat feature, or you can hold them to the end and then you can unmute yourself and feel free to ask them. So like I said, my name is Stephanie Wilson. Some of you may have heard me on other calls that we've had. If not, my role is our implementation specialist or implementation manager. And so my goal is really to make sure you know how to use our Qualitrac provider portal and that you know how to get registered and have your account set up and ready to go once we go live on March 1st. So our agenda for today is, like I said, we'll talk through an introduction to Qualitrac and what that portal looks like. I'll walk you through the provider portal registration piece. We'll talk about some authorized official training. We do have some information just for you to note to keep handy so you have it available, and then where you can go for help. So let's go ahead and get started with our introduction to Qualitrac. Qualitrac is a web-based population health management system. It's a proprietary system that was developed and created by Telligent. We did our first release of Qualitrac in the late 1990s, and then we've continued to refine and develop our products since then. Due to the fact that Qualitrac is a web-based system, the portal is available anywhere that you have an internet connection. So this allows the users to have access to real-time information and to be able to access that information anytime they need to and see if there's any outcomes or new information there. Here at Telligent, over the many years that we've had Qualitrac, we've really worked to streamline that review process. We try to have all the necessary information for a review contained in one page. We've also built specific processes or workflows into that system to make sure that those reviews and those steps are routed to the appropriate people at the appropriate time to make that move as quickly and effectively as possible. The system will also provide users with real-time notifications. So whoever submits a review through our system will get an email notification letting you know of any changes in the status of a review, if there's additional information needed. If a decision has been made on that review, you'll get a notification. So you're not always having to go and check the portal to see if anything has changed. But once you get that notification, you can log in and check on the status of a review. Here at Telligent, we're also very aware of the need to ensure that all of the documentation and information loaded into that portal is kept secure and safe. So we've worked very hard to maintain a system that meets and exceeds many of those industry security standards so that you as a user never have to worry about the security of the data that you're submitting, any of those clinical documentations that get attached to reviews, things like that. We make sure that those are all kept safely and securely within the system. So just kind of an overview, beginning on Monday, March 1st, all of the case management agencies will begin to submit review requests using that Qualitrac provider portal. Once you start submitting those reviews or need to be able to submit those reviews, we need to make sure that you have an account set up in the system so that you can log in and access that portal to submit those reviews through. So to do that, each organization will need to have at least one authorized official set up in the system. And that authorized official will manage all of the user accounts for that organization or organizations. So the authorized official will set up any additional users, make sure that everyone that needs to have access has access, And if anyone leaves the organization or maybe changes positions and shouldn't have access to the information in the portal anymore, that their account gets removed. We have a registration packet that we'll talk through in the upcoming slides, and we've posted it out here on the Colorado public website, and I've included the link here so that you can access that to go to our portal registration packet, user guides, any training, all of that information is going to be listed together on the same page, and this is a link where you can get to all of that information. So once you click on the link, like I said, it's going to take you to the Colorado Long-Term Services and Support Training page. And this is a screenshot of what that page looks like. You'll want to scroll down that page till you get closer to the bottom, and you'll see a panel here that's titled Intelligence Qualitrac Review and Provider Portal. And you can click on the plus sign or anywhere in this panel to open it up. And then once you do that, you'll see our provider portal registration link and that official, authorized official training user guide. This user guide will be sent out in an email to all the authorized officials when we send you your username and different things like that. But we just posted it here so that you have it as a reference. It may help guide who you select to be your authorized official for your organization. But we just want to make sure you have it available as soon as you want to take a look at it. Keep this spot handy, this link in this place on the Colorado page, because this is where we will continue to post these training slides, any of the training recordings, FAQs, the link to actually get to the portal once it's live will be posted here. So we just want to make sure you have this information and you know how to get to this area to find all of that. So let's go ahead and walk through the provider portal registration process. One thing to point out, I know that in conjunction with this training that we're doing, there's also some training that's focusing on PASSR reviews. Both of those PASSRs and the other reviews that will go through the system will all use the same system. So if you've attended a PASSR training and they've talked about doing your provider portal registration, you don't have to do it separately again from this training. Both of those are the same system. Your username will work for both of them. So you only have to sign up your authorized official once and not multiple times if you're attending multiple trainings and hearing some of the same information. So the provider portal registration is completed entirely online. We used to have a paper process, but we've moved that to this online process so that you don't have to worry about passing around paper or finding people to get signatures, dealing with mail, that kind of stuff. So all you have to do is click on the link to start the process. This process should be started by what we call a provider executive. That's the title that we use in our process, but that person really should be whoever has the authority or the ability to say, this is who I want to be the authorized official for our organization. So that provider executive may be a CEO, it may be a team lead, it can be anyone within your organization or organizations that says, this is who I want to designate to be the authorized official for our organization. Just to note, if you're going to have more than one authorized official at your organization, and we always recommend that, or you do have to have at least one to manage all those user accounts, but you can have more than that if you feel it's necessary or if you want to have a backup or something like that. So you're welcome to fill out more than one and designate more than one authorized official. But to do that, you'll have to click on the link and fill out the form, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then you'll close down the form, click on the link again, and submit another form for the next authorized official. So you'll have to repeat this process for each person you want to designate as that authorized official. So when you click on the link for the provider portal registration, this is what the first page will look like. So you'll click on the link, it'll open up this window. And this is where that provider executive, so if it's like I said, an executive, a manager, a team lead, any of that, that's where you'll indicate who you want to be the authorized official. So this first part under provider executive will be that lead's manager's name, full name, and email address. And then down here under authorized official is where they will indicate the name of who that authorized official is going to be and that email address. And then you'll click begin signing, and that will kick off the process. Again, if you're going to have more than one authorized official, you'll close this, click on the link to open it again, enter your provider executive, your name and your email address, and then the name and email of whoever you want to be that next authorized official. Once you click that begin signing, this will kick off an email to the email address indicated under the authorized official section. And then the authorized official will receive that email. There will be a link in it that they can click on, and then they will complete their section of the registration process. Once everybody has completed all of their parts, a final version of the agreement will be emailed to the authorized official and to the provider executive based on the emails that were listed in those sections. So there's really 3 steps to this process to kind of break it down and make it make sense. So the flow is that provider executive, manager, team lead, whoever that is, will initiate the process by clicking on the link, filling out their section, and indicating who the authorized official will be. Once they do that, those emails get kicked off to the authorized officials. They'll fill out their section, and then they'll complete their signing portion. Once they do that and have their account set up, that information comes back to Telligent. We will use it to set up the accounts, and then we will send out an email with the username that we've set up for that for each authorized official. And then they'll also receive an authorization link that they'll click to authorize their account and set up their password. Just so those of you that are authorized officials know, once you get the link to set up your part of the registration process, we'll need to have some basic information such as your phone number, organization address, different things like that. The other thing that the form asks for is your NPI. If your agency does not have an NPI, please enter the Medicaid ID that's on file with the Medicaid office into that section, and then we'll go through the process and make sure we match that all up and get your account set up and that information set out to you. If for any reason we have a question or a concern to make sure that we have the right organization for that authorized official, we'll reach out to you and make sure we have that all clarified. But if you don't have an NPI, please enter that Medicaid ID into that section of the form that you're filling out. Another thing just to note for some of you, depending on the size of your agency or how things are laid out, sometimes that provider executive, whoever is going to initiate this process and fill out that first part of the registration packet, may be the same person as you're indicating for the authorized official, and that's completely fine. So you'll just enter your name and email address in that provider executive section, and then you'll enter your name and email address in that authorized official section. You'll still click the begin signing button, and then that system will send you out the email with the link to fill out the rest of the registration packet. But they can be the same people if that's the way your agency is set up and what makes the most sense for who should be your authorized official. So just kind of to recap everything we talked about, all the forms are completed online. If more than one authorized official is needed, you'll just have to fill out the first form, close it, click on the link to open it again, and then fill it out again with each additional authorized official that wants to be named. We do use what's called DocuSign technology so that everything gets routed through email to the appropriate people, and we are able to collect all the information that we need to set up the account. Once everyone has signed and completed their parts of the process, the executive and the authorized official will receive a fully executed agreement. You can retain that for your records, just have it on file so you have that information. Here at Telegen, we'll set up those accounts and then provide that information such as user IDs, training guides, and links to activate those accounts back to you through email. And then once that authorized official has their information, has logged in and set up their password, they'll be able to go through the process of setting up any additional users that need to have access to the portal for your organization. So just a little bit about the authorized official training and what's available. Again, here we have the link to the website, the long-term services and support training website, where all this information is housed. Again, you'll scroll down to the panel that says Telegen's Qualitrac Review and Provider Portal section, and then click on the official training user guide that we have posted out there. Again, scrolling through this, even before you set up your authorized official, may be good to see what kind of things that authorized official will do, such as managing accounts and different stuff like that. May help you decide who you want to be your authorized official, or it may just give that person a head start on what they'll need to do once their account is set up. That user guide is a presentation and it walks through step by step everything that you need to do. So we won't walk through all of that in the training, but we just wanted to make sure that you know where it is. And we will also email a copy of it out to you when we set up your username. Okay, so a few things to note. For those of you that go through the process of filling out the packet and the information, you'll notice that it says your account will be set up within 3 to 5 business days. And that's our normal process and the time we need to get an account set up. Because of the fact that this is a new implementation and the system will be live starting March 1st, we're recommending that you get your packet filled out, get that information back to us, but we won't send any of those emails back out to the authorized official with their username and their activation link until the week of February 22nd. The reason for this is that activation link is only good for 7 days. And because the system doesn't go live until March 1st, we want to make sure that those activation links are actually active and that you're able to click on them to activate your account and set up your password. So we're going to wait till that last week of February to send all of your information in, or to send all of your information back to you so you can start setting up your accounts. If you have any questions in between then and now, I'll put my email address in the chat so you can reach out to me with questions. But we just want to make sure you know that we won't be sending anything out until that week of February 22nd. Another thing to be aware of is that because of industry security standards, all users will be asked to change their password every 90 days in the system. So once you set up your account and you get logged in, then 90 days after that, the system will indicate to you that you need to change or get a new password. On the login screen, there's a reset password link. So all you have to do is click on that reset password link, enter your username in the box or the modal that pops up and click submit. The system will send an email to the email address that is associated with the username that you entered, and that will contain your reset password link. So it's a pretty easy process to follow. You don't have to come to Telegen to get your reset, to get your password reset, or go back to the authorized official or anything like that. Everybody can reset their passwords whenever, but once that 90-day window passes, the system will let you know that you need to, that it's forcing you to reset your password. Like we said, the portal is going to become available on March 1st. At that time, you'll be able to, those authorized officials will be able to set up users, and then users will be able to start submitting those reviews through the system. And then I try to keep this website on multiple pieces of the presentation so that you have quick and easy access to it. And like I said, if you want to bookmark this page, we will be posting that link to actually get to the portal once it becomes live. And we'll put any training documentations, any of these recordings, FAQs, Q&A, that kind of stuff all out there to have it housed in one place. So where to go to with questions? So again, We have the website, our provider portal registration link is out there for you to use to set up those authorized official accounts, along with that user guide so that authorized officials know what to do once they get their access. And we also have included our help desk number here. Again, the help desk won't be available until March 1st when the system goes live, but we just want to make sure everybody has access to that phone number and that you're able to have it handy in case you have any questions with setting up your user accounts, have any problems logging into the system, or you just need help with that first time you submit a review. Someone will be available there to help you. And that actually completes the presentation for today. Pam, have you been monitoring the questions, and is there anything we want to answer to discussion?
I have been. There haven't been too many. I'll just reiterate what I posted. I did post the link that Stephanie referenced, and it's in the chat if you want to copy it from there. And Rachel asked about sending out the PowerPoint and PDF, and I let her know that we will be posting all of this training, recorded version of this training, to the HCPF website at that location. So you'll be able to find everything in that training location. And if you need other information, you can also contact Stephanie or myself. And then Ashley asked about a link to the user guide. So, and I gave Ashley basically the same answer. The user guide will be posted to the HCPF website as soon as it's ready. We're in the process of completing some development and customizations for Colorado of our Qualitrac system. And as soon as that's done and we can include all of that information, that'll be part of the user guide. Okay, I'm just looking at a new message from Linda. For an ICF IDD admission needed, do we need to wait until Qualitrac is live before we can submit the 100.2 for review? I'm assuming that you're talking about the process, Linda, that Mary has been working on with the case management agencies, and no, you do not need to wait for that. That's actually not going to go through Qualitrac right now. So you would just submit it to us via email. And I'm going to put my email address in the chat as well. And if you need information on that, you can get in touch with me directly, okay, in terms of ICF. And then Stephanie put in her address, and there's my address. So if anybody needs any further information or has any other questions, you can get in touch with us. Stephanie is S. Wilson, that's S as in Stephanie, S. Wilson at Telligent.com, and mine is P. Valvano at Telligent.com. And that's all we have so far. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself or type them into chat, and we'd be happy to try to answer them for you. We'll give you a couple minutes to see if you think of anything. Tim said thank you. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for attending. That seems to be it in terms of questions, Stephanie. We'll hang out for a couple more minutes to see if anyone comes up with anything. Anne said, thank you. Thanks, Anne. Thank you for being here. Here's a question from Gabrielle for CHCBS IHSS reviews. What documentation will you need to be submitted? Gabrielle, we have a list of that. It may not be germane to everybody right now at the moment because this is a focus on the Qualitrac system, but if you would email me, I can direct you to the resource. The department is also putting out guidance. They've had a stakeholder group and a work group that is putting out guidance on IHSS reviews. That is not quite ready yet. We were able to see a draft of it, but I know their goal is to have that out sometime very soon, any day now. It has to go through clearance at the department, but it lists out the documents that are required and also documents that are recommended. So watch for that to come out. I'm sure that once it completes clearance, clearance and all of the items have been agreed to by everyone, you'll be hearing more about that from the department. I hope that answered your question. Oh, thank you. Okay, Gabrielle said thank you. You're welcome. And please email me if you need more information on that, and I can redirect you, or you can get in touch with Christine DeSantos or Carly Altman at the department. Christine, I know, is championing that effort. So it might be a few more days, but it should be out sometime soon. Anything else from anyone? Okay, that seems like it. Please be in touch if you have any other questions. And Stephanie, if you want to wind up.
Yep, I'm just going to say thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate your time and attention, and you have both of our emails. Like Pam said, feel free to reach out at any time. We'll be happy to get back to you with more information. And I believe we'll be letting you know once the slides and the recordings are posted as well, so that you can check those out on the website.
And for anyone who doesn't know yet, we have another session next week that will be going over more details of how to put cases into Qualitrac, so a little bit more detailed, the other part of this. And you can join us next week for that as well. That's on Wednesday, the 24th at 3 p.m. So please join us for that, where Stephanie will demonstrate putting in a request into Qualitrac. Thanks all. Stay warm out there.
Have a good day.